Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the 1964 horror thriller, that's how to describe this film, Last Man on Earth, starring Richard Price. Yes, I'm doing another Richard Price movie, and my last review we just did one. Now I'm doing another Richard Price film called Last Man on Earth. Of course, this movie is actually based on a novel called I Am Legend, written by Richard Matheson, who has written a lot of science fiction horror films, or horror stories, I should say. Plus, he also ran a bunch of episodes of the original Twilight Zone television series with Rod Serling. But, getting off topic, so Richard Matheson is a damn good science fiction writer. Of course, also this movie also has a remake that came out a few years ago with Will Smith, using the original title of the novel called I Am Legend. But it's basically the same premise. It had nothing new to the story, except it had, Will Smith starring in the leading role instead of Vincent Price. Of course, this movie, Last Man on Earth, like I said, starred Vincent Price. It came in 1964, and it stars, basically Vincent Price is literally the last man on Earth. And what happened is, when I first watched this movie, I thought it's because there was a nuclear attack. When you already had a bunch of movies already at that time, dealing with the nuclear attack and the last people on Earth, and they all died off at the end, like the movie 1959 movie On the Beach, which I previously reviewed. And this is basically the same plot, except instead of a nuclear attack, was some disease like the bubonic plague or something. And Vincent Price, for some reason, never developed the disease. For some reason, it's kind of looks like the bubonic plague, but as an add to that, is those who are affected gets turned into vampires or vampire zombies. It's kind of a twist, like vampire zombies, which is like a new thing, kind of like a sub genre at that point. This movie came out 4 years before Night of the Living Dead, so the zombie genre, or people coming out for the dead turning into zombies, was kind of played with in this film. But not really. Those who are affected turn into zombie vampires. And what happened was, and it did have flashbacks with what actually happened, why Vincent Price is the last one on Earth, and also does explain why he was the only one. It takes about 3/4 of the way through this movie until you find out why Vincent Price was never affected, and the reason why he was never affected was because of the fact that when he a few years earlier, before this whole plague thing started coming out, he was in South America and got bit by a vampire bat. Obviously didn't turn into a vampire. You don't turn into a vampire by getting bit by a vampire bat. It was only in horror movies like this. And I guess he developed an immunity to whatever plague the disease this thing was. So that was Vincent Price's hypothesis as to why he was never affected. So, but he lost his wife to it, he lost his daughter to it, but there was like a neighbor of his who was affected, and he turned into a zombie, and every night he was to bang on Vincent Price's house to try and get him out so he could kill him. All these zombies want to try and kill Vincent Price. He was the last guy on Earth. But then one day he found out that there was this woman who was alive. And they found out that she was a vampire. She was affected, and she was a leader, or worked with a bunch of people who were affected to kill him off, even though he found a way to survive the plague. And say, hey, if we make an injection, you can survive this plague, using his own antibodies to save people. Meanwhile, she didn't care, or the group that she was working with didn't care. And by the end of this movie, they all eventually kill. Major spoiler for those of you who didn't see this movie. They all kill off Vincent Price at the end of this movie in a church, no less. But I thought, I know I'm going real fast for this review, but I thought The Last Man on Earth, I thought it was, another great Vincent Price. Well, I mean, I've seen a bunch of his movies lately, and I have been doing reviews of his films lately on my channel here, and his roles don't disappoint me. I've never been disappointed by any of his performances, and he was damn good in this one. Believe me. And Last Man on Earth is definitely one of his better roles in this film. And Last Man on Earth, I think it was, terrific. I can't say anything bad about his performance. That's how good he was. And for those of you who have like Vincent Price fans or want to see like the older version or the original version, I don't know if this was the original version. But if you want, before you see the Will Smith version, I Am Legend, which I think kind of bombed, a lot of critics crapped on this thing. Check out the Vincent Price version, the Last Man on Earth first before you check out the Will Smith version. I have not seen the Will Smith version at all. I'm not knocking Will Smith, and I'm not knocking that film, his version of Last Man on the original title, I Am Legend. I'm not knocking that at all. It's just that I haven't seen it, so I can't really knock it. But watch the original one with Vincent Price instead first before you see the Will Smith version, and then you can see how good Vincent Price was in this role. I mean, he was terrific. I mean, I can't say anything bad about Vincent Price's performance in any of his movies, because he was that good. And truly, you could say some of his movies, like The House of Wax or the Fly movies, you can see maybe he's overselling his part a little bit in some of his roles. He didn't oversell it in this thing, boy. I'm telling you now. I mean, this movie was that good. I mean, I enjoyed it. But the problem was that he narrates it too much. For a long time in this movie, he was the only voice in this movie. So that kind of would throw you off a lot. But he was. The Last Man on Earth is definitely, I think it's definitely his best performance. So that's my review of the movie Last Man on Earth. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com or wdy.com. It's my homepage, you're not a reviewer. Please see more, and please check out all of his other videos on this website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.